Hi there. I'm glad to welcome you to my channel, World of Stories. I have a lot of interesting life stories that I want to share with you. Enjoy listening.
Yes, right now. I'll open it now. Well, who's so impatient out there? The guy struggled to get out of bed and put on his pants. He couldn't get his leg in, and someone was knocking on the door, judging by the sounds, with their feet. He, swaying, went to open it. His head was still buzzing and spinning from last night. How much had he drunk? Probably a lot. A man burst into the apartment, short with a big bald spot and a round belly. Bart. What shape are you in? The concert is in an hour. Calm down, Mr. Butler. Everything will be fine now. Bart walked over to the bed and pulled the blanket off, revealing a girl underneath. Hey, what's your name there? You need to leave. The girl hesitated to get up. She was wearing only underwear. Mr. Butler turned away. Only then did she quickly jump out of bed and dress in a hurry. I love it when girls undress and dress up quickly, the guy laughed out loud. Bart. Will we see each other again? Definitely. Bart replied, closing the door behind the girl. So, who is she? Who? Oh, her. Well, I don't know. I picked her up after the concert yesterday. Anyway, I'm going to take a shower, I'll be ready in 15 minutes. He went into the bathroom, and the sound of running water filled the room. Bart was a star, the lead singer of a music group he had formed back in school. He had good vocal talent. His music school training had not been in vain, and he also wrote his own lyrics. When he finished the 11th grade, he and his group recorded a few of their songs onto a CD and sent it to anyone who would listen. That CD eventually made its way to Mr. Butler, an up-and-coming producer at the time. He listened to the CD and liked it. So, Mr. Butler took these guys under his wing and didn't regret it. In addition to their vocal talent, Bart's good looks and charisma also played a significant role. The girls would scream with delight when Bart stepped onto the stage with his heartfelt lyrics about love and catchy melodies. The more provocative, the better. That's what young people wanted. In the first year, their songs were played on all the radio waves. And a year later, when their first concert took place, tickets were sold out in the first hour. That's when the first fans appeared, who considered it a privilege to touch their idol. At first, Bart was shy, giving autographs and allowing fans to touch him, but then he got carried away. After each concert, he would come home with another admirer. He enjoyed choosing them. As he put it, it's like shopping. You can have a dark one, a light one, a slim one, a curvy one, a tall one, a short one. Older, younger, in any variation. And sometimes, he would pick two at once. The more his popularity grew, the more he indulged in everything. He could skip rehearsals because he had drunk too much the night before. He didn't shy away from drugs either. Mr. Butler didn't know how to deal with him anymore. He had seen artists burn out quickly while leading such a lifestyle. All right, Mr. Butler. I'm ready. Let's go. Just be careful with my car. Mr. Butler raised his hands as if surrendering. It was easier to agree with Bart than to try to convince him to do otherwise. Mr. Butler and Bart descended to the covered parking lot where Bart's new car was parked. So, how do you like it? Not a bad car. How much does it cost? I won't tell you. You'll be jealous. Mr. Butler pursed his lips. It sounded hurtful, but he had grown accustomed to Bart's antics. After the concert, amid the screams of fans, autographs were signed, and another trophy was acquired. This time, it was a girl with lively braids and freckles on her nose. All right. All you beauties. I love all of you. And you'll come with me tonight. The girl lit up as if she had won $1 million. Bart seated her in his car, and they drove off. The girl didn't know how to act or what to say. Bart, openly inspecting her, drove in silence until the girl started talking. Oh, I never even dreamed of this. You're the best. And what a voice you have. We know all your songs by heart. I. Shut up. Bart interrupted her. The girl fell silent and rode the rest of the way in silence. He dropped her off at her place. What will you drink? I don't drink at all. Bart looked surprised, but then continued pouring himself a drink. Well, then undress and get in the shower. I was going to say that. I am.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Perfect. And in the middle of the night, Bart received a phone call. Hello, Bart. It's your neighbor, Aunt Vanessa. Your mom isn't feeling well. I'll be there soon. Bart rushed to get dressed. He had even forgotten that there was a girl sleeping in his bed. He had been living separately from his mother for a long time. He bought an apartment as soon as his earnings allowed it. But he never abandoned his mother. He provided everything for her: clothes, food, money, anything she wanted. He even paid for the renovations in her apartment. Or, to be more precise, he footed the bill for it. Bart jumped into his car and hit the gas. Driving through the quiet city at night was easy, as there were hardly any other cars on the road. In just 15 minutes, he was at the other end of the city, at his mother's house. Mom. What happened? Bart rushed to his mother, who lay pale on the couch in the living room, and knelt beside her. It's okay, just a minor heart issue, she replied. I can see, just minor, right? Did you call an ambulance? Should I call a private one? Why bother? The ambulance has good doctors too. Bart was very worried about his mother, and it was all evident on his face. Just then, the doorbell rang. Bart went to answer it. It was the ambulance, a team of 3, including a cardiologist, with their familiar orange medical kit. They started examining her while Bart stood aside, not interfering. Well, we need to get going. We're taking her to the hospital, the doctor said. Doctor, is it necessary? Maybe she can rest at home? Bart became active. Mom, don't argue. Doctor, please take her to a good clinic, and he slipped several large bills into the senior doctor's pocket. The doctor didn't object either to the clinic or the money. With flashing lights and sirens, the ambulance drove through the city at night, and Bart followed. He wouldn't have been allowed to see his mother anyway. The doctor said she'd be placed in intensive care. So, he had nowhere to rush, and he calmly drove, not breaking any traffic rules. The morning slowly approached the city. The sun began to rise, peeking through the gaps between the skyscrapers. Suddenly, right in front of his car, a shadow flashed, and he felt like he had hit someone. Bart slammed on the brakes and got out. A woman was lying on the asphalt behind his car. What the hell? Bart cursed. Can't you watch where you're going? Sorry, I didn't mean to, she said as she sat up, examining her scraped knees and palms. It seemed like the impact was a glancing blow. I'm coming back from work, very tired, and my eyes are closing. Well, you should close your eyes at home on a pillow, not on the road, the guy remarked. Come on, I'll take you to the hospital. Oh, no, no. I need to go home. I'll just sit here for a while. You decided to rest? Let me take you home then. He helped the girl get up and seated her in his car, closed the door, and went to inspect the damage done to his car. There was a small scratch and a dent on the wing. He got behind the wheel and asked, So, where should I take you? The girl mentioned an address that was, to put it mildly, quite far away. Bart even whistled in response. He started the car and pulled away. You've really gone quite far. I told you, I'm coming back from work. What kind of job ends at 5 o'clock in the morning? The girl remained silent. What's your name? He asked. Glory. And yours? Bart looked at the girl in surprise. Did she genuinely not recognize him, or was she pretending? Bart, he said, and he watched her reaction for a few moments, but there was no response. It didn't bother him much, and he decided not to dwell on it. Finally, they arrived at Glory's home. Thanks for the ride. Want me to walk you to the door? No, thanks. I'll manage. Glory got out of the car and headed towards the door but only took a few steps before collapsing to the ground. Bart jumped out and rushed to her. Maybe I should help after all. My head is spinning, she said as he helped her up. He supported her and led her to the door. Should I call an ambulance? Or maybe I should take you to the hospital? No, no. I need to go home. Bart picked up Gloria and carried her up the narrow staircase since it was uncomfortable for both of them to walk together. He set her down only when they reached her apartment, fortunately on the second floor. Come on in. Gloria invited him. Bart crossed the threshold of an ordinary apartment. It had recently been renovated and was neat and tidy. Gloria peeked into a room, closed the door quietly, and put her index finger to her lips, motioning him to follow her into the kitchen. Tea or coffee? She asked. Coffee, if that's okay, Bart replied. Gloria nodded and took a glass jar of instant coffee from the shelf. Bart had forgotten about this kind of coffee, so the taste didn't impress him much. Gloria poured herself some tea and sat down at the table. You look quite pale. Maybe you should see a doctor after all? Bart suggested. No, no. I'm feeling better now. I'll just have some tea, and I'll be fine. Could you please bring me the first aid kit from the bathroom? It's in the cabinet above the washing machine. Bart nodded and went to find the first aid kit. In the bathroom, there were children's toys scattered on all the shelves. Bubbles with shampoos, including children's ones, were on the edge of the bathtub, and a child's bathrobe in the shape of a duck hung on a hook. She has a daughter and no husband, Bart deduced. He found the first aid kit where he was told and brought it to the kitchen. Let me help you, he said. Bart took out a bottle of chlorhexidine and some cotton pads from the first aid kit. Gloria didn't resist. He sat down next to her and began to treat her scraped knees, occasionally stealing glances at her. She had a cute little nose and blue eyes, quite attractive, to say the least. Bart was starting to like her. Suddenly, he leaned in and kissed her on the lips, for which he received a resounding slap. Just at that moment, a child's voice came from behind them. Mom. What's going on here? Who's this man? Why did you wake up so early? And the man is already leaving. Bart didn't argue and headed for the exit. Take care, he told Gloria as he left. Bart returned to his car and drove home. After this series of events, he had even forgotten that there was a girl sleeping in his bed. Bart tapped her shoulder. Hey. It's time to get up. The girl woke up and started getting dressed. Goodbye. We'll see each other again? For sure. After seeing her off, Bart collapsed onto his bed, but sleep eluded him. To his surprise, he found himself thinking about Gloria and her blue eyes. Bart slept until noon, and if it weren't for Mr. Butler, he would have slept even longer. Did you get drunk again? Bart. Come on, you can't do this to yourself. Mr. Butler, don't scold me. I didn't drink much yesterday. Just a couple of drinks. My mother wasn't feeling well, and I had to accompany her to the clinic. I went to bed only in the morning. What's wrong with her? They said she had a pre-infarction condition. Well, get ready. Bart. Get ready. We have a press conference. Please, hurry up. Give me 10 minutes. The producer sighed wearily and nodded. Bart went into the bathroom. When sober, you look like a decent person, Mr. Butler remarked. 10 minutes later, they were already in the car. Oh. What's on your seat? Mr. Butler pulled out a phone from beneath him, a pink one with rhinestones on the cover. Put it in the glove compartment. I'll deal with it later. I assume we don't have time right now. And there really wasn't any time. After the press conference, Bart visited his mother, had a rehearsal, and completely forgot about the phone. Tired, angry, and hungry, he was heading home when, in a pause between two melodies blaring from the car's speakers, he heard a strange tune. Bart turned off the music and listened carefully. The melody played again, sounding more like a phone ringtone. Bart parked the car and reached into the glove compartment. The source of the sound was indeed the pink phone he had found on the seat. Bart pressed the green button. Hello? Oh, thank God. I assume my phone is with you? Seems like it. Who are you? It's me, Gloria. Bart's heart started beating faster. He was going to see her again. I can bring it to you. Where are you? Not at home. I'm at work right now. Can you come here? Where is here? Tyler Street, 18. Club Leopold. Okay. I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Great, I'll be waiting. Bart started the car, made a U-turn across the double solid line, and stepped on the gas. He arrived at the club exactly 10 minutes later. From a distance, he spotted Gloria, and he parked the car, gazing at her from afar. She was clearly older than him. Her figure was far from ideal. Small breasts compared to her wide hips. Ordinary legs, a visible waist, but there was something about her that intrigued him. He remembered her eyes, piercingly blue, eyes you could get lost in. He honked the horn. Gloria turned around and walked towards the car, taking the passenger seat. Hi. Thanks for the phone.
Yeah.
No problem. I don't need someone else's phone. I've been trying to call it all day. I was busy. So, you work at the club? Yes. And what do you do, if you don't mind me asking? He expected to hear that she was a waitress or even a dancer. I'm a bartender. Who? A bartender. Why does that surprise you? Haven't you seen female bartenders before? Honestly, no. At least not in a nightclub where they have strippers. Have you ever been to our club? No, but I've heard of it. I see. Well, I need to get going now. My break is over. Wait. Give me your phone number. Why do you need it? In case I want to talk, or, here, take mine, in case you ever need it. Gloria shook her head and exited the car, leaving Bart staring after her.
Yeah.
What does she think of herself? He muttered to himself and hit the gas pedal. The car jerked forward, and Bart continued with his usual life, rehearsals, concerts, recording a new album, shooting music videos, and hordes of fans stalking him everywhere he went. 2 months passed. The music video for their new song was shot and being widely broadcast on all music channels. The band decided to celebrate the successful video premiere with a visit to a club, and they chose Leopold. Nobody paid much attention to Bart's weak resistance. All this time, he hadn't even thought about the strange girl who had fallen in front of his car, and now he was seeing her again behind the bar. Hey, Bart. Are you infatuated with that bartender? You haven't taken your eyes off her all evening.
Yeah.
It seems so. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. Well, you have. Probably in your bed.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
The guys laughed. Come on, guys, Bart said, ignoring them, and walked over to the bar. What can I get you? Don't you recognize me? Should I? I'm Bart. Oh, hi. Honestly, I didn't recognize you. Looks like you're going to be rich. Bart smiled. So, what can I get you? Just coffee. I have to work all night. Bart watched her work with pleasure. How's your daughter? Is she alone? She's alone right now. Our neighbor is putting her to bed. Aren't you afraid to leave her alone? What can I do? I have to work. They pay well here. It covers our living expenses and my mortgage. Understood. Can we go somewhere quieter to chat? I have a 15-minute break in a moment. Let's talk. He saw his bandmates making fun of him, and he could guess what they were saying, but he didn't care. There was something about Gloria that captivated him. There was something about her. I'm free now. Shall we go to the second floor? It's quieter there. Bart nodded and followed her, admiring her from behind. The second floor was indeed quieter. They sat down at a table, and a waitress approached. "What will you have?" "Just coffee for me. I'll be working all night." Bart placed the order, and the waitress left to prepare it. "What did you want to talk to me about? Tell me about yourself. How did you end up as a single mom, paying a mortgage, and working as a bartender in a nightclub? Are you really that interested?" Bart nodded. At that moment, the waitress returned with a tray. "I apologize. Aren't you Bart, the lead singer of the Heartbreakers band?" "Yes. Could I please have your autograph? My friends and I absolutely adore your songs." Bart smiled and signed a napkin for the girl, who happily ran off. "Turns out you're a famous person," Gloria remarked. "Well, a little bit. Surprised you didn't recognize me." Gloria shook her head. "I don't listen to that kind of music." It stung Bart's ego. "So, what kind of music do you listen to?" "Jazz." Bart nodded in acknowledgement. "Maybe you can give me your phone number?" "Why do you need it?" "Well, I might want to call you. Invite you to a jazz night. I'm not sure if I'll agree." "Why? Don't you like me at all?" "Wait. Are you trying to pursue me?" "Why not? I think you've had a bit too much to drink." "On what basis?" "Look at me. I'm at least 5 years older than you. I have a child, and I'm not interested in casual relationships. In fact, I'm not interested in any relationships at all. That's it for now. I have to work. Go back to your girls." Gloria hopped off her seat and headed towards the stairs. Bart hastily scribbled his phone number on a napkin and followed her. "Gloria. Here's my number. Why do I need it?" "In case you need help. I can do more than just sing." Gloria took the napkin, put it in her pocket, and went back to work. "She's quite strange. I don't bite." Bart mumbled to himself as he returned to his friends. He left the club with another one of those easy girls who were ready for anything for an autograph. Bart was genuinely waiting for Gloria to call, but she didn't, and at some point, he stopped waiting. They were getting ready for their tour. The producer kept bothering him constantly. Either one thing wasn't ready, then another, and late in the evening, the phone rang again. Bart wasn't alone, he was relaxing in the arms of another fan. "Hello? Mr. Butler. Have some conscience? It's already late." But it wasn't the producer's voice on the other end. "Sorry for calling late." Bart even jumped on the bed. "Gloria? I'm glad to hear from you. You said if I needed help. I'll come right now." Bart got up and began to dress quickly. "You'll have to leave," he said to the girl who was lying in his bed, covering herself with a sheet. "But... you heard what I said. I need to go urgently. We'll see each other again, right?" "Definitely." He pushed the half-naked girl out the door, not even bothering to give her money for a taxi or offer her a ride, and rushed through the night city to Gloria. Her daughter opened the door. "Hi. Where's Mom?" "Over there." Gloria was in the bathroom, all wet, wiping the water from the floor, and the water was still dripping. "What happened?" "Well, you see, the pipe burst." Bart looked under the bathtub. There was no shut-off valve. He knew the approximate location to shut off the water because his mother lived in the same building. "Can you install a clamp on it temporarily?" "If you have one." "I don't." "Then you'll have to buy one." "Well, all the stores are closed now." "Not all of them. I'll buy one right now and come back." 20 minutes later, shirtless Bart was patching up the pipe. "Thank you."
Yeah.
"It's really no big deal. Just call me if you need anything." "Tea?" "I won't say no. I'm sorry for bothering you in the middle of the night, but I had no one else to turn to. Now I owe you." I'm actually glad. Now you'll definitely come with me to a jazz night, but it will have to be after I return. Where are you going? I'm leaving on tour the day after tomorrow for 3 months. Gloria nodded understandingly. Okay, let's go. Bart left Gloria with a sense of victory, albeit a small one, and in high spirits drove home. Bart went on tour. A week in one city, a week in another. Hotels, concerts, fans stalking their minivan. They always knew exactly where the band was heading. The guys didn't change their lifestyle. There was always someone to choose from. But Bart was starting to get fed up with it. After giving autographs and taking selfies with fans, he often returned to his room alone, lay on the huge bed, and dialed Gloria's number. She didn't always answer, but when she did, the conversation ended quickly. She was always busy and never called back. Bart would get frustrated. Who does she think she is? What does she think of herself? Damn queen. But the next day, he would dial her number again. During the day, he would sleep almost until noon and get angry when the chambermaid knocked on the door. He could yell at her for no reason, or at the waiter if the food took too long. He would yell at his musicians, but they had become accustomed to their lead singer's antics and leadership. Even Mr. Butler did. Listen, Bart. Tone it down a bit. Save some for the ladies. And so, the last city, the final concert. They had a few hours until takeoff. Bart always went shopping before a flight, buying souvenirs for his mother. Something that could only be bought here. And this day was no exception. He put on a hoodie with a hood, sunglasses that covered half his face, and went wandering through the shopping center. Bart had already bought presents for his mother, but passing by a toy store, he saw a large, beautiful doll in the window and couldn't resist buying it for Gloria's daughter. He didn't forget Gloria herself either. He bought her a small silver pendant on a delicate chain. Why not gold? He was afraid she might refuse to accept it. But the pendant was worthy of attention. Just a few hours in business class, and here they were descending the plane's gangway. At the airport, there were crowds of fans once again. Pushing through them, Bart, laden with flowers, went straight to his mother. His mom was overjoyed, thanked her son for the gifts, and fed him with homemade food. Son, maybe you'll stay? You're tired from the flight, and you're going to drive again. You haven't even eaten anything. I spent all day yesterday cooking. Mom. I'm just here for a short while. I want to visit someone. I'll be back. You don't even have to clear the table. All right. Bart rushed to Gloria. Running through red traffic lights and breaking all the rules, he couldn't wait to see her. When he was just a stone's throw away from Gloria's home, the police stopped him. Senior Lieutenant Griffin. We've got a violation, one of them said. Listen, Commander. Can't we come to an agreement? I'm in a hurry to see someone. Are you offering a bribe to a law enforcer? He stopped mid-sentence, scrutinizing Bart closely. Wait a minute. Aren't you that guy? The heartthrob, right? La la la, there's something in your eyes. That's right, Comrade, Senior Lieutenant. Bart tried to read the officer's name on his badge. Griffin. Will you give an autograph? My wife absolutely adores your songs. Of course. My driver's license. Here it is. Griffin returned Bart's license. Bart took out a calendar with his own image on it from the glove compartment. Taking a pen from the inspector, he signed it and handed it to Griffin. The officer smiled and, with a wide grin, wished him a safe journey. Bart hit the gas pedal again. Near Gloria's house, he stopped at a small shop, bought some flowers, and headed to her place with the loaded bags. Gloria herself opened the door. Bart, what are you doing here? I've come back. These are for you. He handed her the flowers. Her pleasure was evident in her eyes as she buried her nose in the bouquet and took a whiff. Thank you. Come in. Would you like some tea? Gloria's daughter emerged from the room. Bart squatted down to her eye level. Hi. I'm Bart. What's your name? Debbie, the girl giggled and hid behind her mother. I brought something for you. He took a box from the bag, containing a doll slightly smaller than the girl. Debbie's mouth fell open in admiration, and she grabbed the box with both hands. Bart? Why did you do that? It's incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
I didn't notice. I have something for you too. Bart took a velvet box with a pendant from his pocket. What's this? Why? Just because. I wanted to do something nice for you. I won't take it. Why not? Don't you understand? Honestly, no. What's the big deal? Or do you not like that it's silver? Bart. I don't want to accept gifts from you. There's nothing between us and there can't be, except for friendship. Gloria. I'm not claiming anything. It's just a gift. A friendly one, if you want. A friendly one, huh?
yeah,
Exactly. Gloria took the pendant out of the box and put it around her neck. It was clear she liked it, but she tried not to show it. Do you like it? Well, sort of. Nothing special. Are you taking it, then? At this point, Debbie chimed in. Mom. Mom. Take it. I like it. Bart chuckled and winked at the girl. Gloria smiled, put the pendant back in the box, and placed the box on a shelf near the hallway mirror. Later, the three of them sat in the kitchen, drinking tea. Gloria, Bart suddenly asked a question that had been bothering him for a long time. Where's Debbie's dad? Gloria's expression changed immediately. Her eyes filled with anger. Bart. I think it's time for you to leave. No. Well, if you don't want to talk, don't. It's better for you to go. Gloria. I told you, leave. Bart stood up and practically stormed out of the apartment, slamming the door behind him. Why is she acting like this? Bart muttered to himself as he got behind the wheel. Such a prude. I didn't say anything, and she threw me out. What a pain. He started the car and raced through the evening city back to his mother's. His mother immediately noticed the change in her son's mood. Bart, something happened? Are you in trouble? Mom. Everything's fine. I'll probably go. Son. You wanted to stay, didn't you? I'll be back too early for rehearsal. I don't want to wake you. And Bart went home. A group of fans was waiting for him near the entrance to his building. He picked one of them and brought her inside. His mood was at an all-time low. Get undressed. There's a shower, and don't scatter your clothes around.
yeah,
I will. The girl quickly undressed and went into the shower, and Bart grimaced. He waited for her to come out of the shower, then sent her home. Why? Did I do something wrong? She asked. Do you have even a shred of pride? What if I made you undress right in the stairwell and only then let you in? Would you have obeyed? I'm willing to do anything for you. I love you. I'll do whatever you say. Bart grimaced again and closed the door behind her. Why is she like that? Bart said to himself as he lay down on his empty bed, staring up at the ceiling. But she does have amazing eyes. Suddenly, he jumped up and rushed to his laptop, pounding on the keys. His fingers flew rapidly over the keyboard, composing words from letters, creating a new song. He hardly slept at all that night, and by morning, he had a new song ready. In the evening, during rehearsal, Bart showed it to his bandmates. Bart. Is this the lyrical stuff we have? Well, let's give it a try for variety's sake. When Mr. Butler came to rehearsal, the guys had almost found the right tempo. What kind of lyrics do we have here? He asked. Well, let's give it a try for a change. And only Bart knew whom to dedicate this song to. On the weekend, he invited Gloria to an evening of jazz music. She was dressed in a beautiful dress, with that same pendant around her neck. The evening took place at a cozy music cafe. Gloria enjoyed it immensely, and she even allowed Bart to take care of her. Afterward, they strolled through the streets and a nearby square connected to the cafe. Gloria was cheerful, laughing at Bart's jokes, and even allowed him to hug and kiss her. Then they got into the car. Gloria. Let's go to my place. No. I need to get home. Debbie's alone there. All right. Let's go to your place then. As they approached her building, Gloria turned and said, Bart. Thanks for the wonderful evening. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad. We can do it again sometime. Yes, that would be nice. But for now, it's time for you to go. What do you mean? It's getting late. You should head home now. Bart approached Gloria closely and wanted to kiss her. Gloria expertly evaded Bart's lips. Bart. I'm not joking. It's time for you to go. What's going on? Everything was fine just a moment ago. Don't be offended. It's not about you. It's about me. I'm not ready yet. Well, can you share with me? Maybe some other time.
Goodbye.
And she hurried into the building while Bart sat behind the wheel and pounded it with his hands. Darn it. Darn it. Darn it. What's wrong with you? Any girl would dream of being in your place, and here you are saying, some other time. What if I lose it, and there might not be another time? Bart started his brand new car and drove home. Today, his only desire was to take it out on someone. Bart hadn't called Gloria for several days. He didn't even know whether he was angry with her or just wanted to test her. But 2 days later, he began to feel restless, like a junkie. Bart picked up his phone, dialed Gloria's number, and immediately hung up. He was angry with everyone and everything. Bart. What's happening to you? You're singing like a sheep. And we have a concert coming up. Tickets are all sold out. Are you in love or something?
Yeah.
In love with you. Mr. Butler, everything will be fine. Fine? I don't want fine. I want it to be perfect. So, today's rehearsal is cancelled, and I'm giving you the day off tomorrow. You go home, get yourself together. But when you come back the day after tomorrow for rehearsal, be the old Bart again. Understood? Bart nodded, his eyes flashing with anger. He headed straight to a bar, ordered a drink, and a girl sat down nearby. Bart evaluated her. Not bad, as he always described it. Care for a drink? I won't say no. Word after word, Bart took her to his place. And what possessed him to ask, what's your name? Gloria. What? Gloria. I heard you, I'm not deaf. I think it's time for you to go. But why? Go. My mood's gone. But. I told you to go. The girl put on her dress and left the room. Bart then dialed a number. To his surprise, Gloria picked up almost immediately. Hello? Hi. It's been a while since you called. I didn't think you'd notice. What's going on with you? Nothing. Are you upset? I'm sorry if I hurt you. Didn't want to. Tell me, what's wrong with me? I've been this way and that way with you, and you're still indifferent. How should I approach you? Don't shout at me. I'm not shouting. If I don't appeal to you, just say so. You appeal to me. What? But we're very different, you and I. You're used to living large, not denying yourself anything. I, on the other hand, save on everything. How much? How much what? How much money do you need? I'm not talking about that. I don't need your money. I'm older than you. I have a daughter, work as a bartender in a nightclub, and you're a star. You have plenty of fans. No, Bart. We're too different. We shouldn't see each other anymore. Bart was suddenly sober. Gloria. Gloria. No, no. Wait. So, you said we could be friends? But you want more, don't you? Although, I don't understand why. You have plenty of other girls. Why do you need me? You're better than all of them combined. Are you in love? And if I am? So what? Bart. Get this out of your head. I'm telling you again, we're too different. Bart swallowed a lump that had suddenly formed in his throat. Gloria. It's over, Bart. I've told you everything.
Goodbye.
And don't call me anymore. Gloria hung up, and Bart continued shouting into the phone. Gloria. Gloria, wait. No, don't. The phone remained silent. Bart roared and threw his phone against the wall. Although he understood perfectly well that the phone had nothing to do with it. Why is this happening? Why is everything like this? What does she think of herself? He got up and approached his phone. Surprisingly, it was mostly undamaged. The screen was intact, with only a slight crack. He dialed Gloria's number again. The subscriber's phone was either turned off or out of network coverage. He just needed someone to talk to. He didn't want to be alone. Bart went to his mother. This worried his mother a lot. Bart. What happened? Why did you come in the middle of the night? Have you been drinking? Mom. I'm so tired. His mother made a bed for him in his room. Bart undressed and lay down. Mom. Sit with me. His mother sat down next to him. Mom. Did you love Dad? Of course, I did. We spent 15 years together, soul to soul. But he was younger than you, right? Yes, but not by much at all. Why are you asking? Just wondering. Why didn't you remarry? Well, you see, I'm a one-man woman. I don't need anyone else. Tell me, what should I do? I've tried everything with her, but she told me not to call her anymore. What's wrong with me? Who is she? I can't live without her gaze, her eyes haunt me every night, and her voice is magical. What does she want? His mother didn't respond, she understood that her son needed to vent. She's not even that beautiful. She rejected me. Did you think that everything belongs to you? That can't be. If you like a girl, court her, pursue her. But not aggressively, like you're used to, take it slowly. But I am doing that. Then it's not enough. Don't rush. Be her friend first. What if she's a one-man woman like you? What if she still loves her child's father? That's why she doesn't want to talk about him? Don't ask her that. She'll tell you when the time comes. Be patient. If you really like her. Yes, Mom. Thank you. Bart turned away and fell asleep. His mother didn't wake him up in the morning. She let him sleep, and Bart slept in almost until noon. He always slept late at his mother's house. Bart. Come have lunch. Oh, Mom. I don't want to. I'll go. I'm sorry for barging in on you in the middle of the night. Sweetie, this is your home too. And where else would you come when things aren't going well? You can come here day or night. Bart approached and hugged his mother. Thank you. Bart stopped by the store and bought a cake. His first impulse was to buy flowers, but he changed his mind. Gloria opened the door, looking very sleepy. You again? Well, I told you everything. Let's have some tea and cake. Maybe you can have tea and cake at home? Debbie, do you want some cake? Bart shouted with a smile, looking into Gloria's eyes. The little girl ran into the hallway and saw Bart. Uncle Bart. Come, I'll show you the dollhouse I made. She grabbed Bart's hand and led him inside. Bart showed interest, sticking his tongue out at Gloria, who laughed and shook her head. She followed them as Debbie showed Bart her new doll and the dollhouse she had made from sheets and blankets draped over a few chairs. Bart crawled inside on all fours, sat cross-legged, and played with the little girl. She fed him pretend food and tea from tiny doll-sized cups. Gloria periodically checked in on them but couldn't fit in the small space, so she retreated to attend to her household chores. "Hey, get out of there. That's enough. Let's go have lunch." She seated Bart at the table and placed a bowl of soup in front of him. Despite his weak protests, she said that now that Debbie was there, he couldn't leave. They had tea and ate cake afterward. "Bart, don't you have to go somewhere? I have the day off today. Listen. It's delicious." Gloria blushed and smiled, it pleased her. "You'll have to leave soon, though. I have to work in an hour. I don't want my neighbor to see you. She'll start gossiping. If you want, I can take you. I'll wait outside." Gloria nodded, and Bart rejoiced inside. "Uncle Bart. Will you come again?" "Debbie. Definitely. How about next time we go to a children's entertainment center?" "Yes. And can we take Mom with us?" "Well, if she behaves well." Bart winked at the little girl. "Yes." Hooray. Gloria left the house half an hour later. Bart had been sitting nervously the whole time and was very relieved when he saw her emerge from the building. She got into the car. "Ready to go?" Gloria nodded. "Bart, tell me, why are you doing all of this?" "What am I doing?" "Well, all of this. I don't understand what you mean. I just want to be your friend, nothing more. Debbie doesn't mind, by the way." "Gloria, I won't hide it. I really like you, maybe even more than that. But if you don't want more, let's just be friends. Just let me be by your side." Gloria remained silent. She turned away and stared out the window. "Gloria. I won't push for more, I promise." "Okay, Bart. But only as friends. I swear." Bart raised his right hand, placing his left over his heart. Gloria smiled. "All right. Let's give it a try. Until next time?" "Until next time. Do you have a day off anytime soon?" "Bart. You promised." "Well, I did promise Debbie." "Oh, you mean that?" "I can take her any day." "Perfect. I can't this week, I have a concert next weekend, and rehearsals will be non-stop." "How about next Sunday?" Gloria shrugged and got out of the car. "Let's stay in touch," she said, closing the door and heading back to her club. "Yes." Bart exclaimed and pressed the pedal. Finally, his mood improved, and there was hope. He wasn't used to giving up on his plans and always got what he wanted. And in the case of Gloria, the guy was confident of victory. A little over a week passed. Throughout the week, Bart was in a great mood. The day before his concert, he arranged to meet with Gloria. Debbie was thrilled. Her mom didn't often take her to places like this. Everything a 5-year-old child could dream of was here: swings, carousels, a trampoline center, a kids' bowling alley, and a rope labyrinth. But what excited Debbie the most were the electric cars. She rode on them at least 5 times, with Bart, Gloria, and even by herself. After all the fun, the 3 of them got hungry and went to the nearest fast food joint. Debbie placed the order, while Bart and Gloria just laughed at her antics and nodded in agreement. Right in the middle of their meal, 2 girls approached them. "Hello. We made a bet. You're Bart, the lead singer of the Heartbreakers band, right?" Bart shifted his gaze from the girls to Gloria, then to Debbie. He could see that Gloria's smile had become strained. Then he looked back at the girls. "No, girls, you've got the wrong person." This was the first time he said that. Previously, he enjoyed giving autographs and taking selfies with fans. But now, he didn't want to be distracted from Gloria and her daughter or ruin their evening. Sorry, but you look so much alike. I know. Many people tell me that. The girls walked away. Why did you lie? Today, I'm all yours. Maybe we can go to the movies later? Yes. Debbie shouted. Yes, Gloria replied. They were heading home when it was already starting to get dark outside. Debbie, tired from all the running and playing, fell asleep in the car. She's asleep. Bart, thank you for this day. Debbie really enjoyed it. And you? Gloria lowered her gaze. Me too. Will you help me carry Debbie inside? Of course. Bart picked up the little girl. Gloria led the way and opened the doors for him. He gently placed Debbie on her bed and turned to leave. Bart, thank you again. Gloria, it's thanks to you for this evening. I haven't relaxed like this in a long time. I didn't think you could be like this. What do you mean? Like you were today. I thought I was always like this. Gloria shook her head. No, not always. And you know what? She suddenly leaned in and kissed him on the lips. Let's give it another try. Bart's face broke into a smile. Yes, of course. He leaned in to kiss Gloria, but she stopped him with her hand. Call me. For now. As they said,
Goodbye.
Gloria gave him a peck on the cheek. Good night. And Bart walked out onto the street. At that moment, he felt as if he had won the lottery. Yes. Bart headed home and slept alone again in his cold bed. Today, as in the past week, he had no desire to think about any other girls. All his thoughts were consumed by Gloria. For the first time, he was truly in love. Bart started courting Gloria. It was something new for him, something he hadn't done before. From school days, girls had always pursued him. He formed his band back in 8th grade, and every girl dreamed of attending their rehearsals. At school events, the band sang their then innocent songs, and all the girls were delighted. Bart just had to point his finger at a girl he liked, and she would be his. But his heart remained cold. Then, the band gained immense popularity, and things became even easier. He didn't even have to lift a finger to attract girls. And then Gloria came along. From their very first meeting, he couldn't stop thinking about her. Her eyes, the way she tossed her hair. He showered Debbie with gifts. He loved watching how a simple chocolate bar could delight an unspoiled child. As his mother had advised, Bart didn't rush, he waited. But the fact that Alina allowed him to kiss her was already progress. He took her to the most romantic places he could think of. To do things right, he sought advice from Mr. Butler, who had been happily married for 20 years and was like a father to Bart. 2 months passed, with weekly dates and daily phone calls. Gloria. I'm leaving for Connecticut for 3 days. It's the city's day, and I'll be performing at outdoor venues. I'll text you as soon as I return. Miss you. Kisses. 3 days later, Bart didn't call. Gloria was worried. At first, Bart's phone was unreachable, then it started ringing, but he didn't pick up. Instead, he sent a message. Gloria. I'm so sorry. I lost my voice. I can't speak right now. I'll call you when I feel better. Gloria was concerned. Are you at home? Yes. I spent 2 days in the hospital, but now I'm home. Can I come over? For a while, Bart didn't respond. Gloria even thought he might not want her to come. Yes, come over. I'm waiting for you. A taxi is on its way to pick you up. It's paid for. Gloria left Debbie with their neighbor and got ready quickly. She had barely finished dressing when the taxi arrived. Bart didn't look very good, with dark circles under his eyes, pale complexion, and a scarf wrapped around his neck. He hugged her and led her by the hand into the room. His 1-bedroom apartment was 3 times larger than her 2-bedroom one. It had a huge kitchen combined with the living room and a large all-white bedroom. Bart couldn't speak. What did the doctors say? Is it for long? Bart shrugged and answered with just his lips. I have to return in a week. That's good. Bart seated Gloria on the couch in the living room and brought coffee. It's so delicious. Did you make it yourself? Bart shook his head. Coffee machine, he said, again with just his lips. How's Debbie? Bart had actually grown attached to Debbie. He enjoyed playing with her, with dolls and tea parties. She misses you. She was upset I didn't bring her with me. Bart nodded. Right now, he looked like an ordinary guy, not a star, and Gloria liked him just like this. They had coffee. Today, Gloria had to do most of the talking. She told him about her daughter, herself, and the funny incidents with drunk clients at work. Bart sat closer to her and kissed her. She hugged him around the neck, and the kisses grew more passionate. He started kissing her neck and moving lower, his hands roaming her body. Their breathing quickened, and suddenly Gloria tensed up, coiling like a spring. She slapped Bart on the cheek and pushed him away forcefully. He sat there, looking at her, not understanding what he had done wrong. The girl jumped off the couch, tears welling up in her eyes. Bart, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. I thought I could, but I can't, she said and rushed to the exit. Bart caught up with her at the door, took her hand, and whispered, Don't go. Gloria burst into tears and buried her face in his shoulder. Bart embraced her and gently stroked her head. Then he led her into the room. By that time, Gloria had calmed down a bit. He sat her down on the couch and brought her a glass of water. Then he took a pencil and a piece of paper and wrote. What happened to you? Who hurt you? Tell me. Gloria hesitated, unsure if she should tell him everything, but then she decided to go on. All right, I'll tell you. Bart sat next to her, holding her hand. She sighed heavily. We met in college. I was in my 3rd year, and he was already a graduate student. Handsome and wealthy. We started dating. After 6 months, I moved in with him from the college dorm, and everything seemed fine. But there was one problem. He started getting jealous of everyone. Sometimes it got ridiculous. A man stopped me on the street to ask for directions, and Jason threw a fit, thinking I was arranging a secret meeting. I threatened to leave him several times, but every time he swore and promised he wouldn't do it again. He didn't physically abuse me, but he would yell like a maniac, psychologically pressuring me, and each time I felt guilty. We lived like this for 2 years. I graduated. Jason controlled my every move. He didn't want to get married, but he wouldn't let me go either. He didn't allow me to work either. Gloria sighed again and took a sip of water. My friend had a wedding. I was invited. Jason reluctantly agreed to go with me. Gloria sighed heavily again, showing that these memories were painful for her. When we got back, he started shouting that I was flirting with everyone there. He believed that all the men at the wedding were my lovers, and so on. He shouted, and then he hit me. He started beating me. He beat me, raped me, and beat me again. Tears streamed down Gloria's face like a river. I woke up in the hospital. He told the doctors that I fell down the stairs. I kept silent at first until I saw myself in the mirror. That's when I filed a report against him. He came to see me a few times, begged for forgiveness, begged me to withdraw the report, she said, sighing again and taking another sip of water. Bart gave her hand a reassuring squeeze. He was convicted. During the trial, he told me that when he gets out, I won't live. I didn't want to test his words. So, I packed up and came here. I didn't know where to go or what to do. I met a girl. She worked at Leopold's as a dancer. They needed a bartender. She let me stay with her, got me a job. It turned out that being a bartender wasn't that difficult. I got the hang of it, and things started going well for me, Gloria said, wiping away tears from her cheeks. After a while, I found out that I was pregnant. I was already quite far along. The doctor said that sometimes under stress, you might miss or not notice the symptoms. I decided to keep the baby and never doubted my decision. Dorothy helped me. As long as I could, I kept working. Then Debbie was born. Dorothy and I took turns working. I needed to make a living, too. I lived with her. But then, Dorothy met her Russian guy, married him, and offered to sell me her apartment for half the price. I took out a mortgage. Thanks to the club manager, he helped. I hired a nanny for Debbie. But one day, I came home, and the nanny was drunk. Debbie was just over 2 years old at the time. That's when I met my neighbor. She's single. Grandma Vanessa herself suggested taking care of Debbie. She puts her to bed and checks on her from time to time. Gloria finished her story, sighing and wiping tears from her cheeks once again. Bart sat there, lost in thought. It was all too much for him to process. He thought about himself and remembered how he had yelled at those girls who had been in his bed before. But beating or assaulting them? That was unacceptable to him. Those girls were just strangers to him, but Gloria was someone he loved. Poor girl. What she had to go through, he thought. Gloria tried to get up and leave, but Bart stood up and hugged her tightly, holding her close. I won't hurt you, he whispered. Gloria started crying again, and Bart poured her a glass of whiskey and handed it to her. She looked at him and drank it in one gulp. A warm feeling spread through her body, and she finally calmed down. Bart brought his laptop, and they started watching a movie. When one movie ended, he wanted to start another. Bart, do you have recordings of your songs? I want to listen. He nodded. It's a new music video, he said with just his lips. Gloria watched attentively, listening to the lyrics. And who writes your songs? Bart pointed to himself. You? It can't be. He shrugged. Well, I must say, not bad. Bart smiled. It was nice to hear that. They spent a little more time together, and then Gloria had to leave for work. Bart, sorry, but I need to go to work. If you want, we can come over with Debbie tomorrow. He nodded and called a taxi for her. Gloria started visiting Bart, sometimes alone and sometimes with Debbie. By the end of the week, she found Mr. Butler at Bart's place. Who are these lovely ladies? He asked, kissing Gloria's hand. This is Gloria, and this is Debbie. I'm Mr. Butler, a producer for this gentleman. Well, I won't disturb you. Bart, I hope to see you at rehearsal on Monday. Bart nodded. His voice was slowly returning, but the doctors hadn't allowed him to speak yet. How are you? Bart showed a thumbs up and whispered, I want to introduce you to someone. With whom? Bart put a finger to his lips. He quickly got dressed, and the three of them got into the car. Bart drove them to his mother's place. She was already waiting with a set table. Come in. Bart has been talking about you all ears. Gloria, come on in. It was almost like a family dinner. Bart was visibly nervous, constantly smiling, and seemed distracted. However, his mother and Gloria immediately found common ground, as did Debbie. When they were about to leave, Bart's mother whispered to him, Son, take care of her. She's a good one. Mom, I know, Bart whispered back. He appreciated his mother's approval. You too, Gloria, don't hesitate to ask for help if you need anything. Then they went home. Bart, thank you for this day. But you seem tired. Bart nodded, and it was just in time. Uncle Bart, can I call Grandma Luda Grandma? I really liked her. I think she won't mind. Bart became more and more enamored with Gloria. His songs became increasingly romantic. They flowed from him like an abundance. However, Mr. Butler subjected Bart's songs to rigorous arrangement to fit the band's format. Bart started looking for an engagement ring and browsing real estate catalogs. He suddenly wanted to live with his family in a large suburban house with a pool and access to the forest. He imagined Gloria and Debbie welcoming him home, his mother, and a big dog no smaller than a Labrador. Gloria thawed. She no longer flinched at Bart's touch, and it seemed like she was falling in love with him. Despite his stardom, Bart turned out to be quite a normal guy. "Where should we go today?" Gloria asked as they got into the car. "You seem tired," Bart said. "We shot a music video for the new song from 6 in the morning. We had to redo every shot 100 times. Mr. Butler is never satisfied. He's completely exhausted us. Then how about going home? We can order pizza and watch a movie." "I'm all in for that." Here's the translation of the provided text into English. Bart started the car and brought Gloria to his place, while ordering his favorite pizza on the way. Instead of a tip, Bart gave the delivery person an autograph. He sat next to Gloria on the couch in front of a huge television. They ate pizza, watched a romantic comedy, and occasionally kissed. Gloria pushed the pizza aside and sat close to Bart, hugging him tightly. She wanted more for the first time, and Bart understood the hint. The movie was paused, and they moved to the bedroom. Gloria stayed until morning. In the morning, Bart got up quietly, brewed 2 coffees in the coffee maker, and placed them on a tray. He had always wanted to bring coffee to his beloved woman in bed. Gloria drank coffee while sitting in bed, and Bart lay at her feet, propped on his elbow, admiring her. "Gloria." "What?" "Marry me." Gloria remained silent, she was uncertain. "I love you and I'm willing to wait if you need time to think." "Yes, give me some time." Bart nodded and leaned in to kiss Gloria. At that moment, the phone rang, and Bart picked up the receiver. "Yes, Mr. Butler." "No, I'm not sleeping anymore." "In 2 hours." "Yes, all right. It won't take long."
Goodbye.
"Do you have to go?" Bart smiled apologetically and nodded. "Yes, to rehearsal. I have a concert tonight. Mr. Butler wants us to run through the entire program with the dancers." Gloria got up, wrapped herself in a sheet, and went to take a shower. Bart drove Gloria and Debbie, whom they picked up from her mom's, and went to his rehearsal. Gloria spent the whole day thinking about Bart's proposal. She had doubts, mainly because of Debbie. She needed someone to talk to, so she called her mom for the first time in a long while. "Did you finally remember that you have a mother?" "Mom. Please, don't start. I need your advice." "Well, that's obvious. You don't call when everything's fine." "I can see I shouldn't have called." "Gloria. Don't be offended. What happened? Maybe you'll come over? I miss Debbie so much, and I haven't seen you in a long time." "I don't know. If they let me off work." "So, what's wrong with you?" "I was proposed to." "Is it your ex again?" "No, Mom. It's someone else." "I don't know what to tell you. You need to take a good look at him." "Is the guy nice?" "He's nice." "So what's bothering you?" "There are a few buts." "Well, then, you definitely need to take a closer look." "I can't come, Grandpa is really unwell." "Maybe you'll come after all?" "I'll try." Bart agreed to go with her right away. "So, does that mean you agree?" "Bart. It doesn't mean anything. Just that I need to talk to my mom." All right. Don't yell at me. We can go on Monday afternoon for a few days." Gloria nodded, and on Monday, after loading their car with bags and gifts, they set off to meet Gloria's mom. Bart had never been so nervous before. Not even when he first went on stage. What if her mom doesn't like him? What then? Will Gloria refuse? Debbie asked a lot of questions. She couldn't even remember her grandmother anymore. Moreover, the last time Gloria visited her mom was 2 years ago. "I see you don't visit your mom often?" "There are reasons for that. She didn't support me back then." "Well, back then." Bart nodded. He understood what was being talked about. "She said it was my fault and all that." When I told her I was pregnant, she gave me an ultimatum not to come to her with the child. In short, it's all complicated. And now you want to ask her opinion about me? Bart, it's hard to explain. I guess I just want to rehabilitate her in my eyes. Did you tell her who I am? No, and don't tell her. Well, she'll ask who I am, and what should I tell her? I can't lie. I don't want to. Let's say you're a musician, without going into details. Bart nodded. They had to drive a long way. They entered the village when it was almost dark. Bart's mother came out to greet them at the gate, exchanging greetings and hugs. She critically examined Bart from head to toe and immediately seated their dear guests at the table. Even Grandpa got up from his bed, leaning on his crutch, and sat down at the table. The dishes were far from fancy: borscht, boiled potatoes, pickled mushrooms and cucumbers, bread, and milk in a 3-liter jar. Well, eat, eat. We're happy with what we have. Katerina. Where's the bottle? Dad. Calm down. What bottle? You can barely walk. Grandpa thumped his crutch on the floor. Mother waved her hand and placed a bottle of cloudy liquid wrapped in a newspaper on the table. Do you drink like a grandson? Bart shook his head. He wasn't lying. Ever since he started dating Gloria, he hadn't consumed alcohol at all, except for the occasional champagne they drank together. Well, let's have a shot for the introduction. Bart looked puzzled at Gloria. She was smiling. Dad. What are you trying to do, get the young man drunk? Drink your moonshine yourself. Come on, Rachel. Be quiet. I'm not doing this to get drunk, I'm doing it to get to know the young man. Well, grandson. Let's have one for the introduction. Bart nodded. Grandpa poured himself half a shot and Bart a full one. The young man decided that one shot wouldn't hurt. He took a sip. His breath caught, tears welled up in his eyes. First, he felt a burn, then warmth spread through his body, and what happened next, Bart couldn't remember. He just lost track. He woke up the next day in a room on a bed with iron and ornate headboards, white blankets, and white sheets. On the wall, there was a red carpet with swirling patterns. He had no hangover, and his head didn't hurt, he just felt very sleepy. His clothes were neatly folded and obviously not his. Bart got up, dressed, and left the room. Voices could be heard. He followed the sound of those voices. The room turned out to be at the far end of the house. Gloria, her mother, and Grandpa were sitting in the kitchen, drinking tea. Bart has finally woken up. Would you like some tea? Gloria jumped up from her chair and poured him tea into a large porcelain mug with flowers on the side. The clock on the wall showed it was already noon. I didn't want to wake you up. I don't remember going to bed. Gloria smiled. You and Grandpa had a shot of moonshine. You had some snacks, looked at me with glassy eyes, and said, Gloria, let's go to bed. I could hardly get you to the bed. Weakling. Grandpa summed up. Grandpa. Calm down. Your moonshine could knock out an elephant. The young man just isn't used to it. Bart, don't pay attention to him, and it's right that you don't drink. I approve. Later, Grandpa hinted that they should fix the roof before the rain started, it was leaking. Bart agreed. He was dressed in Grandpa's old army pants, tied with a string, and a button-down shirt. Grandpa sat downstairs on a chair, while Bart climbed onto the roof and followed Grandpa's instructions. Gloria. He's younger than you. Aren't you afraid? I am, Mom. I'm very afraid. Plus, he's always surrounded by other girls, and he's running after me. Maybe he's running after you until you agree, and once you do, he'll disappear? Have you two had anything? Gloria nodded. Well, maybe he's genuinely in love. And how does he treat Debbie? Very well. Mom liked him, she's a simple woman. Did you introduce him to your mom already? Well, Gloria. If he loves you, agree. But remember, he's younger, handsome, and there are girls around him. Gloria nodded. Bart received a positive evaluation from both his mother and Grandpa. Grandpa grumbled about Bart's clumsiness, but later praised him and hinted that they should also fix the shed. Bart had to promise that he would definitely do that next time. And on the eve of their departure, Bart's mother prepared another dinner. She roasted a rooster and made okroshka. Grandpa offered his moonshine again. Bart firmly declined, citing that he had to drive the next day. What are we sitting around like it's a funeral? Hey, Rachel. Why didn't you bring my guitar? Dad. Are you planning to sing? Well, why not? I'll sing. Here is the translation of the provided text into English. Mama brought an old guitar. Grandpa plucked at it a bit. Meanwhile, Bart winced slightly at the sounds produced by the badly tuned guitar. Come on, Grandpa. Give it to me. Bart took the guitar in his hands and adjusted the strings a bit. Now it didn't groan as much and started playing a beautiful melody. Then he began to sing. I thought it was all a joke. I thought it was all trivial. Your eyes, like forget-me-nots, and your intoxicating scent. How can I not go crazy from your bottomless eyes? Your gaze conquers me. I'm afraid to admit it to you. My soul reaches out to you. But my feelings are hidden. Fear is deeply rooted inside. I'm afraid to lose your eyes forever, like forget-me-nots and your intoxicating scent. Glory understood that he was singing for her and about her. Oh, Bart. Even I shed a tear, Mom said when Bart finished his song. Whose lyrics are these? Mine. Oh. You're such a talented boy. Such a beautiful song, and the lyrics too, and you sing so well. Not like those who are jumping around on stage now. Can't understand what they're mumbling about. Bart blushed, lowered his eyes, and smiled. In the morning, he and Glory were planning to leave. Debbie decided to stay with Grandma. Of course, it's much better for a child here than in the city within four walls. Bart didn't rush Glory for an answer, but his nervousness was growing. As soon as he returned to the city, he went to buy a ring for Glory. The selection was huge, but nothing seemed right. After going through a huge number of jewelry items, he finally found what he was looking for. Something as delicate as Glory herself. Meanwhile, Glory couldn't stop thinking about Bart. Mom advised her to say yes. Yes, she herself was ready. Plus, there's this song dedicated to her. She decided to surprise him. She booked a table at a restaurant, took a taxi to the place where the group was performing today. Mr. Butler and the musicians came out. He said
Goodbye
to them and got into his car. The guys stood around, smoking. Girls ran up to them, asking for autographs, taking pictures with them. Some even got into the car with them and drove away. Here is the translation of the provided text into English. Here comes Bart. The girls rushed towards him, and he signed calendars, hands, and discs for them with a smile. One of them handed him a marker and took off her t-shirt, and Bart, calmly smiling, began to write on her chest. Apparently, this was already routine for him. Then she whispered something in his ear and even hugged him around the neck. Tears welled up in Glory's eyes, and she got into a taxi and left. She sent Bart a message on his phone and blocked him. Never call or write to me again. Forget about my existence. It's over between us. Bart was stunned when one of the fangirls took off her t-shirt in front of him and asked him to sign her chest. Literally. He pretended everything was fine and calmly signed the girl's skin. She, still undressed, wrapped her arms around his neck and whispered with a sigh. I want you to sign more than just with a marker on my butt. Bart took her hands off his neck and whispered quietly. I'm sorry. This is all wonderful, but I have a girlfriend, and I'll only sign for her. He raised his hands and said his usual phrase loudly. Girls. I love all of you, and
goodbye.
The girls screamed, and amid the commotion, Bart walked to his car. Just as he inserted the key into the ignition, he received a message from Glory: "Never call or write to me again. Forget about my existence. It's over between us." I don't understand anything. Everything was fine this morning. Bart dialed Glory's number. The subscriber was unavailable. He went to her house. Glory didn't open the door immediately. "Why did you come? I told you everything. But I want an explanation. What happened? What did I do wrong? I was near the concert hall today. I saw that girl who took off her top." "You're talking about that? Glory. Well, that's such nonsense. How many of these crazy girls come to our concerts? They wait for us, hang around us, even during the concert. But I don't care about them. I love you." "Well, you can't keep saying no forever, can you?" "Why not? Don't you trust me?" "I don't know. You're young, handsome, successful, and I'm just a loser who works in a bar." "Glory. You're acting like your ex right now." "What was his name?" "Jason." "Nothing has happened. I haven't given you any reason to be jealous, but you've convinced yourself of something. Stop suffering over nonsense." "Bart. No. We're too different. Find someone younger and prettier." "Glory. I've been waiting for you for a year. I've endured and waited for you to warm up a bit, but my patience is not limitless either. I'm not to blame here. These fans, they will always be there as long as I sing, as long as I'm popular. Are you going to be jealous of them forever? You need to understand one thing. I could have chosen anyone, but I don't need them. I need you. I chose you. Do you understand? You, not that painted fool who's ready to do anything for an autograph, even undress in the middle of the city." "Bart, please, stop it. You asked me to give you an answer. Here it is. I'm telling you no. That's it. I don't want anything. It's over between us. We're too different." "Yes, what are you getting at?" "Different, yes, different. So what?" Bart started to get angry, so he raised his voice. Glory also began to shout. "Bart. That's it, go away. Find someone else. That's it. Do you hear me? Well? Why are you still standing there? I have another man. Got it? I don't need you. Go away." And she began to push Bart out the door. He crossed the threshold and said,
Goodbye.
"Fool." He ran down the stairs. What a fool. A fool, indeed. She could have told me earlier, Bart said to himself while sitting in the car. He sped away. Out of anger, Bart wanted to hurt someone and went all out. Now there was no one to be faithful to. In essence, he realized that he did it all in vain because, as it turned out, he was the only one being faithful. Bart returned to his former lifestyle. Every time after a rehearsal or concert, he would pick up the first fangirl he found and take her home. He drank until he passed out with her, and each time, he saw glory in these girls. He just couldn't forget her eyes. The more he drank, the stronger the pain was. Here is the translation of the provided text into English. A couple of times, the desire to fall asleep and never wake up again arose. Now, the concert was no longer something special for him. It was a duty. He showed up, performed, and left. He didn't even care about how he did it, whether it was good or bad. He just did it. Mr. Butler was angry. Talks didn't help. Oh, Mr. Butler. Don't yell. Without you, my head is splitting. Did I come? I did. Am I performing? I am. What more do you want? I fulfill my part of the contract. You fulfill yours. Yes, do you understand? If this continues, you'll lose everything. Everything you've strived for. Everything you've been working towards all these years. You haven't written any new songs in a long time. I'm going through a crisis. You're not going through a crisis. You're being foolish. The girl left you. Yes, you have crowds of these girls. Go out there, pick any one of them. You even said you choose like in a store, and it's something different every day. I don't want just anyone. I don't need these empty shells. With them, there's nothing to talk about except sex. Sex and money are the only things that concern them. But Glory, she's not like that, she's special. She likes jazz, she loves poetry, nature. She talks about politics and is very well read. And she doesn't care how much money I have. She needed me. Needed. But now, I'm not needed by anyone. My Bart. My boy. Come on, snap out of it. We have 2 concerts in New York now, and we'll be on tour. They're already waiting for us in Europe. Come on, pull yourself together. You're still young. You'll meet another Glory. Maybe even better than the previous one. And Bart nodded as he poured himself a glass of whiskey. Mr. Butler and Bart's mother came to visit, but all his mother did was wipe her tears with a handkerchief. Do you think, Mr. Butler, that I haven't talked to him? Yes, 1,000,000 times. I even introduced him to a girl. It's all in vain. My son is fading away. You know what I fear the most? That he'll get behind the wheel drunk one day and have an accident. What about talking to Glory? Maybe she can bring him back to normal? His fans are already writing on the official page, asking when Bart will return to normal. What's happened to him? Has anyone died in his life? And Bart's mother sighed and tried to talk to Bart once again. But as soon as Glory closed the door behind Bart, she burst into tears. She was sure she was doing the right thing. She didn't even know what she was more afraid of, that there were many beautiful women around him and therefore many temptations, or that he was much younger. Maybe not critical, but significantly younger. And again, she had a daughter. Why burden a young guy with someone else's child? Her mother told her that too. No. She was doing the right thing. They couldn't be together. Yes, he would find solace quickly. Look at all those girls around him, ready to do anything for him. But she was no longer needed by anyone at the age of 30, with a child in her arms. Yes, and with a sad experience. After all, Jason was right back then. She's not needed by anyone with her quirks. But her heart ached and waited for something. She even started watching music channels on TV, hoping to catch a glimpse of Bart on the screen. It was like some kind of masochism. But every time she heard Bart's voice, she remembered that song he sang just for her in the kitchen, accompanying himself on the guitar. Bart woke up after another concert. His head felt like a cast-iron bell. It rang with every movement. Some girl was sleeping next to him. He got up and walked over to the mirror. He didn't look his best at the moment, and in the evening, there was a press conference and the presentation of a new album. He needed to freshen up. Mr. Butler said that 3 skins would be taken from him if Bart didn't look good. So, he needed to visit the tailor's shop. He took a pill, then took a shower. The cool water provided some relief. Wrapping a towel around himself, he went to wake up his guest. Hey, get up. The girl stretched, not embarrassed at all, got up, and went to the shower. Here's the translation of the provided text. His head continued to ache. The pill provided no relief whatsoever. Bart glanced around his apartment. Empty bottles were everywhere, scattered belongings, chip bags, and condom wrappers. He had already forgotten when he last tidied up here. Amidst all this chaos, his gaze fell on a child's drawing. Debbie gave it to him as a keepsake before leaving. And his soul ached once again. He remembered Gloria's eyes, her beautiful smile, and how he and Debbie sat in a homemade shack made of blankets and chairs. Back then, he was truly happy. I didn't know you had kids. The girl emerged from the shower and took the drawing in her hands. Bart just flew into a rage because of this. Put it down. Don't touch it. Get out of here. The girl rolled her eyes and didn't understand anything. She put the drawing back and began to get dressed. Did you see my panties? Are you still here? Get out.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Just give me money for a taxi. Bart got up, grabbed her hand, and practically dragged her to the door. Go away. He took out a few crumpled bills from his pocket, tossed them to her without looking, and closed the door. How much he wished to return to that blanket shack right now. Bart was angry with Gloria. She doesn't want to be happy herself. Well, let her be, and I will be. And he quietly burst into tears. Just for a few seconds. Then he pulled himself together and started getting ready. The press conference was a tedious interaction with the press, where they asked standard questions, and the musicians gave rehearsed answers. Then there was the presentation of a new music video, and everyone had to smile and pretend to be happy. To at least look happy, Bart poured champagne into his glass one after another. Long before the evening ended, he was already quite drunk and ready to leave. Mr. Butler tried to stop him. Bart. Where are you going? It's too early. I think it's just right. I'm fed up with all this. I'd rather go unload train cars. What are you talking about? Bart, I'm tired of your whims. Let me remind you, we still have a contract for another 2 years. Do you have the money to pay me the penalty? Bart shook his head. Well, there you go. Come on, son, let's go. I'll drive you home later. It's not time yet, too early.
Yeah.
Mr. Butler. I'm going now. Right now. I'll get some fresh air. Mr. Butler went into the building. Bart stumbled a bit, then swaying, went to his car. At that moment, he didn't care whether he'd crash or not. Whether he'd get stopped or not. He drove to Gloria's house. Her windows were dark. He stood beneath them, holding onto a tree, and shouted, Gloria. Gloria. Come back. I need you. I need you like never before. But Gloria was at work and didn't see or hear this madness. A couple of times, after shouting some more, Bart sat back behind the wheel and sped home. Someone or something must have been watching over him. Otherwise, how could he explain that he didn't hit anyone and didn't hurt himself during that drunken ride? Here's the translation of the provided text. Gloria returned home from work, as always, in the early morning. Finally, she had a whole week off. She planned to visit her daughter. However, Gloria didn't yet know what to tell her strict mother and Debbie about Bart's whereabouts. She didn't want to lie, and she didn't want to tell the truth either. Although, no. Her mother would say her usual phrase, I told you so. She might even add, well done for listening. But Gloria couldn't help but feel drawn to Bart. After all, it was with Bart that she had forgotten about the past. For the first time, she felt like a woman, desired, and loved. Just as Gloria began to drift off to sleep, there was a knock on the door. Gloria wanted to ignore it, but the person knocking didn't leave. The knocking grew louder and more insistent. Who could it be? Thought the girl as she threw on her robe and went to open the door. Mr. Butler? She expected to see him last in her home. Gloria. I apologize for the disturbance. Can I come in? Without waiting for an answer, he entered. Gloria. I won't beat around the bush. I came for help. I can't bear to watch Bart's downward spiral any longer. He's not getting better. Yesterday, he got behind the wheel drunk, not just drunk but barely able to stand on his feet. Somehow, he made it home. He didn't hit anyone, and he didn't hurt himself. He slept in the car when I found him. He's not writing anything new. He says there's no inspiration. I don't know what to do with him. What do you want from me? My girl. Please. No, I beg you. Talk to him, make amends. Please. I don't know what happened between you, but I know for sure that he loves you. He only talks about you. His eyes may be dull, but they light up when he mentions your name. I don't know, I don't want to ruin his life. You'll ruin him if you don't make up. Trust me. He'll last for a maximum of 6 months. Right now, he's moving on stage like a robot and singing without heart. His voice is like a nightingale's, but now, he's starting to wheeze when he's hungover. He skips rehearsals because he can't even stand up sometimes after heavy drinking. Help him before it's too late. Bart woke up, not even in his own bed. Apparently, he couldn't make it to his bed. He remembered going to Gloria's, but she wasn't home, so he sped back home. He remembered Mr. Butler finding him in the car early in the morning. Then Bart went upstairs and took a bottle of whiskey from the bar. He drank it straight from the bottle since it was hard to find a glass in the chaos. In 2 hours, there was a concert. His head was splitting, and he wanted to drink badly, but he didn't want to live at all. Maybe, just forget it. Bart contemplated getting into a cold shower. I'll sell the apartment, the car, take a loan, give all my savings to Mr. Butler, and let it all go. The cold shower was sobering. His head began to clear up. Bart looked at himself in the mirror. He looked about 5 years older now, unshaven, with red eyes and gray skin. Bart took out his shaving supplies. No, I can't do that. I'd be letting the guys down. He continued to contemplate while applying shaving cream to his stubble. I need to find a replacement first. A band can't exist without a lead singer. Damn. Here's the translation of the provided text. Blood dripped into the sink, his hands weren't cooperating, and everything inside him was trembling, as if during a severe earthquake. He scraped off the remaining stubble with a razor and, after washing his face, applied a bandage to the cut. Bart got dressed, his clothes were all wrinkled and far from fresh. He looked at himself in the mirror one more time and waved his hand. She doesn't need me, and I don't need myself either. And he walked out, got into the car. An empty bottle lay on the floor, and the car smelled like a dive bar. Why hasn't Mr. Butler called me today and guided me on the path of righteousness? He opened all the windows and headed to the concert. The guys were already there. Listen, Bart. You need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get your act together. You may not care about your career and fame, but we do. We're not planning to come down from Olympus anytime soon. Maybe in 20 years, but not now. Are you trying to cure me? Not cure, but... Just shut up already. Guys.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Fine? When will we get a new song? How long are we going to sing the old stuff? I'm going through a crisis. We've heard that already. Okay, let's go on stage. The hall is already full. And at least put on a smile on your soaked face for appearance's sake. Bart blushed and waved his hand. The concert was in full swing, his head continued to ache, and his body craved alcohol. Smiling forcefully, Bart sang his songs. Female fans sang along and applauded. Then he lowered his gaze to the audience and met Gloria's eyes. He shook his head, but the vision didn't disappear. Right in front of the stage, pushed by a crowd of fangirls, stood Gloria. His Gloria. Bart raised his hand and the hall obediently fell silent. Now, I want to perform a completely new song for the most beautiful girl on earth. Gloria. I love you. Come back to me. And he sang a cappella. I thought it was all a joke. I thought it was nothing. Your eyes, like forget-me-nots, and your intoxicating scent. How can I not go crazy from your bottomless eyes? Your gaze conquers me, I'm afraid to admit it to myself. I long for you with my soul, but my feelings are locked away. Deep-seated fear. I'm afraid to lose your eyes forever, like forget-me-nots and your intoxicating scent. The musicians were initially taken aback, but then they started playing along. Gloria. What do you say? The audience began to chant. Forgive. Forgive. Gloria smiled and nodded her head. Bart approached her and lifted her onto the stage. The audience applauded. "Gloria. I love you," he said into the microphone and hugged her. "I love you too," Gloria whispered in his ear. "And I will marry you." Bart picked her up and twirled her around to the applause of the audience. Their wedding was talked about everywhere, in all newspapers and magazines, on all radio stations and TVs. They talked about the heart-stealing band and their lead singer, who married a woman a few years older with a child. Since Bart didn't say anything about the true story of how they met, the journalists made up their own stories, and all of them were far from the truth. But Bart and Gloria were happy. When Gloria starts feeling jealous, Bart simply sings a song to her, and she calms down. Now she knows for sure that no one else needs Bart except her. Even if some girl walks around completely naked, and Debbie calls Bart a daddy, and can't wait for a little brother or sister.